Hey guys, King of Triumphs here, tale of your judge, your jury, and your analyst. And today I bring to you Diggersby in the Cash Cup with Hyper Beam, baby. Shout out to 10 EUs, I think that's their name, TOTENIUZ. They said earn 2 candy walking with your buddy, and it equals Bunnelby. So let's see some more beams. Actually, in my research stack, I had a ton of Bunnelbys in there. So I actually got one and it ended up being a rank 2 in Great League. Non-XL, by the way. The regular one plus Hyper Beam with all that damage is actually really nuts. Not only do you get stabbed, but you are going to see a crazy amount of beamage in this video. There will be plenty of GGs thrown around, but it's literally balls and beams. All ball out and beam out. Like that, yeah, it's freaking nuts. These battles are really good, but that's why words can't express. You're just gonna have to see in a shoutcast. But yeah, shout out to them. They were like, yo, Bunnelby, and that gave me the idea for Diggersby with Hyper Beam. But yes, thank you for reminding me, because I totally forgot. Diggersby has Hyper Beam. Also, my boy Battle Bill, shout out to him. He's my teammate from Rebel. Battle Bill, you may know him from YouTube or on Twitch. He's an amazing human being, and he's absolutely goated. And my boy Bill loves Diggersby, and he calls it Thickersby. Not only is Diggersby thick, but it also has the power of a beam. So it is worthy for being in a content with beams, literal beams, all beams. So this shoutcast, like I mentioned, it's nuts. But before we get started, I have my mental health tip for the day. And my mental health tip for the day is basically going to be, make sure y'all check up on your friends and family. No, seriously, please do so. So, I am a therapist, and I don't, and sometimes I'll say this week by week, but, you know, a lot of the things we seem to forsake is our relationships. And one of my clients right now, they didn't have friends before, and they're going through a really rough time. And they moved over here, and now they have a ton of friends, and now they like going to school because they have their friends and they don't want to be at home. Because when you have your friends, when you have your family, and you have something bad going on, that's what keeps you from offing yourself and going to the dark side of the world. A lot of times is your friends. And with depression as well, depression, bad moments, or even like clinical depression, when you get to the deep end, there's a lot of things that can keep you in the world. And usually it's your friends and family. So, check up on your friends. I spent a lot of time with my brother-in-law. We played COD Zombies, Call of Duty Zombies. Yo, I love Call of Duty Zombies. So for those of you that used to play Call of Duty and you are a zombie fanatic, I love zombies. And oh my god, we're having so much fun. But that, and then I have my small friend group, like I mentioned to some of you if you watch my content for a while. My Pokemon Go friend group that we go out and we eat all the time. We all have our own Discord and everything like that. So we talk to each other, make sure everything is well. But they're the ones I go through the most. And of course, my community. Y'all are absolutely amazing. So y'all keep me grounded to this earth. My job is really freaking stressful, yet I still want to show up every dang day to stream and make videos because I have a community that loves me, and I appreciate y'all with all my heart. But also, I appreciate why you appreciate me, but go out there and check up on your friends and family and make sure they're doing well. Without further ado, let's get started. This is Diggersby in the Catch Cup, and there are a lot of beams in this shoutcast. So hashtag Getbeamed, and let's get started. Alright, here are the battles. We got Diggersby with freaking Hyper Beam. It's about to go ham because these battles are actually pretty freaking crazy. The great thing about Weather Ball, or this team in general, is that there's a lot of energy management that has to go on for like everything to pan out. As you see, we got Skarmory into a 9. This isn't exactly great. Actually, it's great for us because we win this lead, so I'm expecting my opponent to switch. As you see here, you outpace your opponent because of the fact you're able to Weather Ball so quickly. Weather Ball gets to A9, only takes 18 turns to get to 2 Weather Balls, while Skarmory needs a whole whopping it needs a lot, okay? We're not here to do math. I'm here to shoutcast Pokemon Go PvP. And as you see here, we got Weather Balls for days. We're gonna fire the first one just to do a lot of chip damage, and that's not even a Hitmonchan that's at full power. So my brain is like, really, dude? But in general, Hitmonchan is actually pretty squishy. So it doesn't have a lot of bulk, and now opponents start shielding here. Now, even if this was at full power, it wouldn't, this Hitmonchan, I'm still fine here. We get a Fire Punch that goes off, and then we're going to send in Politoed. Politoed should be able to get to Weather Balls way faster than Hitmonchan can get to Fire Punch any of its punches or close combat, so it's going to do a lot of work here. We need it to ball out, absolutely ball out. It may not be like the 7 Dragon Balls, but you know what? We only need 1 to take this thing out, and we got a Dedenne. And my brain is like, oh crap. You see me attempt to catch, because that's literally, if I want to manifest a beam, this is what's going to need to happen. As you see here, we're going to fire the Weather Ball, but I need to catch a move desperately on my Diggersby because Diggersby is going to have a hard time against that Skarmory. Even though you have Fire Punch, Skarmory still got loaded energy and it's still pretty healthy. So as you see, I'm able to catch the freaking move. Let's go, baby! And I was like, as soon, like in real, like when I was doing this battle, I was like, let's go. Because if we want to manifest these beams, we need to make sure our game is on point. And now all we're gonna do is we're gonna overcharge to Oblivion. And as you see here, we get the Skarmory. I'm gonna double up on Fire Punch, and then all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go for the big beams. Y'all already know King of Charmanders is freaking amazing and goated at firing these beams, these giant lasers from the Death Star. Because my freaking my Star Wars, well, I'm not a super nerd at Star Wars, but I know Star Wars lore very much. But unfortunately, we're not gonna be able to go Death Star on our opponent because they decide to top left, which is really disheartening because I really wanted a beam. Like what I was gonna do, I was gonna tap endlessly on that hyper beam and I was gonna fire with all the energy and all of my charisma in the world, and that would have been GG's. Now we got a Lycanroc into our A9, which is actually, I thought it'd be Rock though, but I swapped out anyways. Now here's the thing about Lycanroc. Psychic Fangs is a garbage move. Everyone be saying like, but it has the 100% debuff. I don't care if it's got the debuff. It's absolute garbage. It's more garbage than Registeel getting buffed a bazillion times and people still not liking it. Well, now people like it, but you know what? Yeah, it's freaking Registeel. We're just gonna absolutely ball out on this Wigglytuff. So I misplayed terribly here because I see a lot of charms go through. If I timed everything on the right interval, I would have been able to actually get to 3 Weather Balls here, but I'm not able to. But that's okay because all I'm gonna do, this actually works out for us because I'm gonna send in A9 and I wanna get as much energy as humanely possible. I know Lycanroc's gonna come out here and probably Psychic Fang me to Oblivion, but having a loaded A9 is actually pretty dang good against what we could have had if I was able to triple Weather Ball. Then we get farmed down by whatever the Lycanroc or whatever's in the back. Psychic Fangs is up. I'm not going to shield. As you see, Psychic Fangs is a terrible move, with it being so good only because they are able to get an insta debuff. We're going to fire off these Weather Balls. As you see, this Lycanroc is shielding now because it doesn't want to take all this damage. We're going to fire off this Weather Ball, then we're going to send in Diggersby, and then we're going to beam the unholy crap out of whatever comes in the back. Weather Ball goes off, I send in Diggersby, and then we're going to slap and slap and slap. And I'm not going to shield this because it's definitely a freaking Psychic Fang. And I'm like, you know what, just have it. The only concern is I could possibly get destroyed by whatever's in the back, and it's a Noctowl. And my opponent has no idea that this is actually really good for us. Because all I'm going to do is I'm going to summon all the energy in the palm of my hands, and I'm going to say, hashtag, get beamed! And that's GG's, because all we got to do is get to the Fire Punch, and then I can go ahead and smack this freaking Noctowl in the face, come down, possibly farm it down, and I'm not going to shield here, actually. Sky Attack's gonna go off, and then I wanted to see if I was trying to be too fancy, because honestly what I could have done was just like overpower, or rather I could have Fire Punched, but you know, my idea here was like, you know what, farm down the I actually made this a hell of a lot harder than it had to be, because all I really had to do was Fire Punch, but my idea was I could possibly lose if I get farmed, so I wanted to farm down that Noctowl and then fire the Weather Ball in the back. The reason I did this was because the Lycanroc has no energy. So I kind of thought this out really good, because the reason being is, and like if I let that happen, or rather if I don't do what I did there, the Noctowl can possibly live the Fire Punches, and then what happens, Lycanroc farms me down and A9 has no energy. So it would have been, this was the more safer win condition in my subconscious at the time, because you know I don't use my conscious most of the time. As you see, we got Hypno into A9, and this is actually terrible because this is a neutral lead depending on what Hypno has. If it Shadow Balls me, I die. If it Fire Punches me, I die. So, we shield here and happens to be a Thunder Punch, and I'm like, ah, crap. And then we got a little Marowak, and I'm like, oh my god. So this battle is actually nuts. So we're gonna debate the unholy hell out of our opponent. We're gonna take the 69,000, no, actually 69,000 IQ play here because it needs to be over 9,000 so it can sound cool. What we're gonna do is we're gonna pretend we have Earthquake. I'm gonna pretend this is a magnitude 420 Earthquake from California on the ground, and we're gonna bait the shield, and we grab a shield, and my opponent is pissed that I grabbed the shield with you and bait it. Now, all I'm gonna do is straight Fire Punch. Now my opponent is aware, alright, he probably doesn't have Earthquake. So as you see, they Shadow Ball, but because Diggersby is so thick and we double resist them balls, now that I say that, it's actually a lot more funnier than it looks. But essentially, I just don't have to shield anything from the Alola Marowak because of the fact that we are able to tank Bone Clubs as well as Shadow Ball. Fire Punch goes through, and then I can expect this Alola Marowak to switch out pretty soon, and I do. But here's the problem. My opponent switches into Hypno, and they don't know. You're about to get beamed! Get beamed, baby. As you see there, that does hella damage. I'm gonna combo him with A9, and we're gonna hit you with a big 1-2. Beams and balls right in your face. As dirty as that sounds, that is what you need for this freaking W. And as you see, we got so much energy here. I got double Weather Balls queued. I'm about to triple Weather Ball you. I'm about to 3-point shoot you from across the logo like Steph Curry does in practice. How does he do that? I have no idea. That's just how majestic Steph Curry is. It's like magic. And like magic, we just beam down an entire freaking Hypno ball out on this freaking Alola Marowak. We are going to let our A9 go. So while we ball out on our opponent, we know they got Shadow Balls. So they're gonna ball out on me. Big Shadow Balls, big black... I'm gonna pause. I'm not going to complete that sentence. But anyways, all we're going to do is we're going to send in Diggersby. I already know what I'm going to do. I am going to farm this Alola Marowak down completely. And we get a Hitmontop. And you already know I'm going straight for it. You know what I mean? Let's have an encore. You know what? Hitmontop's actually... Let's see if this one-shots. And you know what? Hashtag get beamed, baby. And it almost one-shots. I send in the Politoed. And then all I'm going to do is just fast move down. And that's GG's. Double beams, baby. Battle full of balls and beams. I hope y'all enjoyed that shoutcast because that was freaking insane. That was like literally what I double hyper beaming with Diggersby, and just the way that battle panned out was absolutely amazing. So I hope y'all enjoyed that battle. I probably should have put it at the end, but you know what? There was a lot of, when you make content, there's a lot of pieces. So yeah, but anyways, we're at the midway point. We get Serperior into a Ninetales, and I'm like, okay, so what does this thing have? And my brain's trying to remember. Our opponent isn't switching out, and this is way sooner, or as timing-wise, this is way sooner than a Frenzy Plant, and it happens to be Leaf Tornado. Do they get the debuff? And they do get the debuff, and now I am pissed, and I'm like, are you freaking serious, bro? It is 50-50, but why you gotta give that move to this freaking Serperior? Serperior is decently bulky, so with that debuff, they should be able to tank Weather Balls pretty fine. So we're just gonna keep firing Weather Ball here. I don't want to lose alignment because Serperior has a great matchup against our Diggersby as well as our Politoed. We don't have a good backline against this freaking Emperor Snake thingy. But will they get the second debuff? And they do, and they send in Magneton. So I switch into Politoed and I kind of oop here. However, this actually isn't that bad. My idea is I want to break shields. I have to shield this though because Discharge will KO. So then my idea here is we want to get that last shield, but at the same time, I want some energy. So Politoed fires, and as our opponent does not go down, our opponent does not go down, but that's fine. They're going to be able to fire discharge. I have no shields. This will go down. However, now A9 can go in and get some extra energy. A9 was debuffed from before, remember? So now we can get some extra energy for Weather Balls. So we're going to be able to get almost to another Weather Ball. Our opponent should either shield this or they're going to send in their Mon other than Serperior, and they send in Serperior. Serperior comes in, and it's going to shield this Weather Ball. And we're going to attempt to get to the next Weather Ball. Without that extra energy, we should be able to get to it. And then y'all already know what's going to happen. Y'all already know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna insta-switch to Diggersby, and we're gonna pull out the freaking beams. We're gonna summon all the energy from the sky, you know, like Dragon Ball Z, and we're about to Spirit Bomb. But no, not the bomb. We're going to do Kamehameha Wave, the Turtle Wave, and we're gonna summon all this energy in a form of light, and we're gonna fire it at 1,000 miles per hour, or 69,000 per miles per hour, actually. And then, will this kill? I don't know, but we're about to find out. Diggersby gathers all its energy with its 4 freaking arms, and hashtag get beamed, baby, and that doesn't kill a freaking Golbat for some reason. My brain's like, really, dude? Wow. It lives? So you know what? We resist all these Poison Fangs. We also resist Shadow Ball. So why not go for a second beam? Maybe we can get there. And can we? Can we? As my opponent is just frantically trying to Poison Fang our bunny down because of the fact that Diggersby is so thick. Hashtag call out, like that's a shout out to my teammate Battle Bill. But unfortunately, we aren't able to get to a second beam. That would have been really sweet. That's so disrespectful. The fact that we beam Golbat in the back, you know, I've been extra disrespectful if we got another freaking beam. That would have been so disrespectful. But this shoutcast is full of beams, and we got legend on legend action. That's the rank tempos, and we got Walrein and A9, and this is a terrible lead for us. Even if Walrein isn't carrying Icicle Spear, it's carrying Powder Snow. So my brain is like, did you really just Elite TM Powder Snow? And I'm like, is this Icicle Spear Earthquake? You spent 2 Elite TMs on the, you know, I spent 1. I ain't willing to spend 2. Boy, you spending, yeah, that's a lot of pay to win. That's a really, really expensive Walrus you got there. And they go straight for the Earthquakes. I get the Dazzling Beam through, which is great because my back row absolutely gets destroyed by Walrein. It will resist everything Politoed has to offer it, and the only thing I got for Diggersby is the beams. But ground is weak to ice. You do the math. We ain't doing well here. The great thing is I should be able to Weather Ball here, and then I can farm down. So we're going to get a ton of energy out of this matchup. Yeah, we're down 2 shields. We can still make something happen. So we win alignment, and Hen comes in Ariados, and my brain is like, oh god, because, you know, fairies are weak to poison. Sorry, Peter Pan. Disney was not good to us on this day because we got a freaking Ariados in front of our A9 right now. We're going to ball out, do as much chip as I can, but I want to basically take some shields here because it's getting to a point where our opponent's going to have to start spending these shields, or you live dangerously. This is definitely a lunge. As you see, lunge goes through and it's going to debuff up. They're going to swap out, and it's a Hypno, and y'all already know what happens. This is the same type of attack bonus. It's got 4 arms, baby. So this is going to be a Kamehameha away from hell. We're going to fire the beam, and we're going to go hashtag Getbeamed, baby. It doesn't do as much damage as it looks, but that actually gives us a win condition here. As you see, this Hypno is going to fire a move. Hopefully it's not a Shadow Ball, and it happens to be a Shadow Ball. Actually, I was hoping it was a Shadow Ball because Shadow Ball doesn't do a lot of damage. And as you see here, we're going to double up on Fire Punch. I'm going to double Fire Punch here, and then that Ariados has to contend with a Digger with 3 whole Pokemon. I still got 3 whole Pokemon here. We're going to fire off double Fire Punch, and our opponent probably isn't going to shield anything. They might as well let Hypno go, and then Ariados is going to try to clean up with a shield. I send in Politoed since we weren't able to KO with that Fire Punch, and that little bit of extra energy should give us what we need to take out our opponent. All I gotta do is ball out. Now the beam did its job. Freaking Diggersby, you did your work. You earned the break. You earned your MVP, and I'm gonna take you to the Pokemon Center. I'm gonna give you all the bubble tea in the world. Bubble tea is amazing, by the way. If you don't know me yet, I love bubble tea, and bubble tea is absolutely goated. I love bubble tea. I went to Taiwan Safari, and oh my god, the concession stands had it. And what the concession stands didn't have was a bunch of lag, because they gave me my order on time. But you know, on this day, for some reason, my Weather Ball didn't go off. We ball out, and even if they do get to move, that's essentially GG's. Our opponent's trying to gather a bunch of energy to take out our Politoed and our back row, but it doesn't really matter. I don't even have to charge this Weather Ball because it's GG's, baby. I hope you enjoyed that shoutcast. There were so many freaking Hyper Beams thrown. Hashtag Getbeamed, baby. GG's. Dang, hashtag Getbeamed, baby. Shout out to Tetenius again. I didn't until I read that comment. I'm like, you know, Diggersby with Hyper Beam. Am I willing to shout out Dust? Of course I am for the catch cup. But dang, this was so much fun. So I hope y'all enjoyed this shoutcast because it was absolutely nuts just how many Hyper Beams Diggersby was able to fire, and it was worth every freaking ounce of dust that I invested into this mod to have this shoutcast. But it's also the only other Diggersby I have other than my XL one that's already built. And this one is, I can't wait to use this again in the future because, oh my god, Hyper Beam Diggersby was just so much fun. So hopefully, again, thanks to Totenius for the idea. Shout out to my community out there. You guys are absolutely amazing. If you have an idea, if you have something that like you want me to try to put out there, go ahead and put it in the comments. And also, please like and subscribe. It's totally free. You can easily subscribe by using that little box at the bottom right there. And again, if you do have any ideas, and for the YouTube algorithm, please comment below and let me know what you would like. And maybe, just maybe, I will manifest it into existence, just like every dang bean I did in this shoutcast. Really appreciate y'all. Again, I also stream on Twitch Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I know I say that, I mean, no, not Thursday, Friday. You see, I jacked that up a lot. Monday, Tuesday, Saturday, Sunday. 6:30 a.m. 7:30 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. is when I usually start, PST specific time, and then I'll go on till whenever. But I really appreciate y'all, the ones that show up, and then all of you that will show up in the future, and all of you that show all the support in the channel, this channel, the Twitch channel, and just all the love and the support. I really do appreciate it. Good luck on your Go Battle League sets, and I will see you guys on the next video.